Welcome everyone to our community-hosted event, The Road Ahead. We've got an exciting session planned today, and we'll be covering 3 different sections. We'll start off talking about our newest updates to Geotab Ace with lead product manager Sajjad Sharabi. Then we'll be joined by familiar face, senior product marketing manager Jamie Locks to talk about camera health insights. Then we'll be joined by Valeria Umskaya, a manager of marketplace operations, to talk about marketplace partner launch lineup. Now we will stop after each section to do a brief Q&A, so feel free at any time during the presentation to put your questions in the Q&A. If you put the questions in the chat, we might miss them, we might not see them, so make sure you use that Q&A function. Ask as many questions as you want. Any questions are on the table. We will likely not have time to answer all of those questions. We'll try to get through as many as we can, but we'll follow up with answers to every single question with a post in the community. We'll probably post that early next week and get all those answers for you. If you have anybody that's unable to attend this session, maybe a coworker that's stuck in a meeting or somebody you think that would be really interested in learning this content, this is going to be recorded and sent to you in the post-webinar email. So no worries, this is going to be recorded. Or if you want to watch it again, it'll be recorded. It'll be shared in the community. You'll be able to watch it, share it with whoever is interested in it. And without any further ado, let's jump into it. Let's welcome Sajjad to talk about Geotab Ace.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ishi. Hi there, folks. Sajjad here. I am hoping to walk you through some of the latest and greatest from Geotab Ace. Obviously, I know that there may be people on the call that may not be completely familiar with this tool. So I'll start sort of from scratch. We have a few slides at the beginning where we're just going to talk about sort of more generally about Ace. And then most of the session is actually going to be inside of the tool itself, so you can get familiar with it and we can go through some examples together, and that way it's easier to just showcase the power of the tool. So let's get right to it. The challenge that Geotab Ace really wants to solve is that insights gap, right? As you know, there's a lot of data, right? A lot of the data, but there's a gap between the data that exists there and what you actually need in order to get your job done, right? So we acknowledge that obviously data is not there for this. You don't want data for the sake of data. You want data to get your job done, and you don't really care about like how things are done in the background. Let's just give you this information. So that's what we want to do. We really want to be able to simplify how you get access to data and information and be able to bridge that gap. So we acknowledge that today there's all these like reporting functionalities, there's data connector, there's APIs, etc. There's all these different mechanisms to be able to get that data. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely a place for those, but sometimes it just feels like those are too constraining, or you just want this quick sort of data point. And sometimes even the old methods, like the existing methods, don't allow you to get some of the information. And this is where ACE can really play a role here. And I'll explain how in a moment. So ACE is your AI assistant. It's directly built into my Geotab. It helps build bridge that insights gap. All the interaction with ACE is in plain language, right? And you can interact with it in English and languages other than English as well. And within seconds, max minute, it will be able to provide you with the data that you need. Obviously within the bounds that it has access to, and that's one of the key topics here that I want to talk about. But the idea really is to significantly reduce the time from like what you actually want and the raw data that exists. So that's the whole point of it. The way that ACE works, just a few points here. Natural language, so you literally type in what you're asking for, and ACE can fetch that information. The analysis, the ACE has access to the freshest data that's available, right? So it's not like it has access to like yesterday's data. No, if the data is available, we do have access to it. And it's not just like the raw data, right? So a lot of these insights that we generate around like predicted collision rates and benchmarking data on safety, for example, it does have access to that data as well. So it's not just raw data. There's some, as I said, it supports multilingual support, so it matches the explanation matches the language at which the question is asked. And I also want to talk about like the security as well, right? Like this is not something like a third party tool or something that's being like bolted on, right? Like this is built within the environment. And I want to make some clarifications regarding data security and privacy because I do see this topic come up quite a bit. And I'm completely aware of like the issues around data and AI and some of the misuse of the data there that could potentially be happening. So let me make some things clear here. Your data never leaves the Geotab environment. This data is never shared with any third-party data to train any large language model or anything. Like this is just not happening. It's the same as if it's the same situation that it is today. Your data is stored in the Google environment with the same service level agreements that you have in your agreements with Geotab, and we abide by those, right? So the same security and privacy standards apply, and there is no worry to have from that standpoint. Obviously, this is how we do it because it's an enterprise grade solution. It doesn't mean that every solution is going to be the same. Obviously, there are some companies out there, etc., that may be using data and sharing it with third-party AI solutions, and they may be doing whatever training, etc., on it, right? But I want to be clear that for Geotab, it's not the case, and we abide by the same standards that are in your agreements. So having said that, let's get to the fun stuff here. So let's get to ACE itself. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit, zoom in and out, just to make sure that everyone can see what's happening. So the ACE environment, when you ask your first question, this is the environment that you will find yourself in. ACEs can be found on the top sort of panel here. This is a beta feature that needs to be switched on. I'll go back to the slide after this, and I'll show you exactly where that exists. So it's like under profile, but I'll show you that in a moment here. But let's get into the usage of it itself, right? So first of all, this is a very powerful tool. I just want to make this very clear. And I just want to showcase you like one example of how powerful this tool is. Like I can literally ask it to give me every detail, every trip that has happened this year in the database. And I tested this on a database with 2,500 devices. And within 30 seconds, I got the response, right? So this is giving me every single trip that happened from the start of the year. Obviously, this list only shows like 10 of the results. I can download the CSV, and it contains that information, right? So I just want to be clear, like there's pretty much no limit in how much data you can get from ACE. So within 30 seconds, I was able to get all the trips that happened this year for a database with 2,500 devices within 30 seconds that contained 550,000 rows of data, right? Now, getting 550,000 rows of data, probably 500,000 rows of data, is probably not what you want, right? Like maybe you want that, right? If you have the means to somehow like open that data and be able to analyze it and work with it, kudos to you. Like grab the data and go do it. But what the point of ACE really is to help you get to that final thing that you want, right? Like why don't we get you directly to that final thing? Because in my opinion, every data that you're looking at, like 30,000 rows of 10,000 rows of data, like there's always a reason why someone would need that, right? At the end, apart from legal reasons, right, where someone would actually need the logs, for day-to-day usage, there's usually something that you need from all of that data. And why not get that something directly from ACE? So maybe you don't want all the trips for this year. Maybe you want, actually what you want is to get total miles driven per month this year, right? So for each asset, give me the total miles driven per month this year, right? So as you can see, that I'm being very specific about my prompt, right? Folks, this matters, right? Words matter. It matters whether you're calling it assets or whether you're calling it trucks. If I had said, give me each truck, like the total mileage for each truck, it's different from using the word asset, right? Because it's going to filter on trucks. So it's very important to be clear about the words that you use. So in day to day, we might just call all of our vehicles in the fleet trucks, right? We have 2,000 trucks, right? But are they all trucks though? Like we need to be careful on like the wording that we use, because this is turning your wording into actual code, right? It needs to turn it into structured code, and it matters. Words matter in that case. The other piece that I want to explain here is that it's an AI. You can talk to it, right? So you can reason with it. This is different from what we're used to with having like buttons to click and filters to pick and whatnot. It's not a 0 and 1 situation. You can sort of reason with it, and you can slowly sort of take it to even where you want and the data that you need. So in this case, when I asked it to give me all the miles per driven per month this year, so as you can see here, for each device, it gave me one row for each month, right? So for each month, it's giving me one row. And if I download this data, it's going to contain all of that, right? So what I actually want, and it explains here, just to be clear, always read the outcome and the understanding here, because it's exactly telling you, this is what I understood from your question, this is what I did, right? So it's very important to read this, because this is bridging that gap between your natural language and the actual response that you're getting. So sometimes you might realize, oh, it actually didn't understand that thing that I was saying. Like, I was looking for like total mileage and maybe like a picked odometer or something. So just be clear, read the reasoning and make sure that it's understood your question properly. And that's the whole purpose of this reasoning, is that it explains what it is. It explains what it understood from you. But the good thing about AI is that, you see how it has like one row per device? I can easily just go back to it and say, hey, great, but I want one row per asset, and I want the months as columns, right? So I don't want to see 12 rows per asset. I want to see one row per asset, and I want each month to be in the columns. Cool, I'll do it for you. Here you go. Just being specific, right? Being very clear about what you want. Each column is now 1 month, and there's only one device per column, per row, sorry. So there you go. Like you can reason with it. You can ask it stuff. Let me show you some cool stuff. So recently we added the ability, the support for addresses. So you can ask it like, this is the location of the Geotab office in Ontario, here in Oakville. So I said, show all the trips that ended at this location last week. So have in mind, even without having a zone set up at this location, just by using addresses, Ace can give you responses, right? So you don't need to have a zone at this location in order for Ace to answer. It has access to geospatial information, has access to addresses, and it can give you the response here. So this is something that we're added. Next week, there's going to be a bunch of other cool geospatial related information and support that we're going to be adding. I'll show you in a second here. Another thing that Ace can do is ask knowledge-based questions. So Ace isn't just about like pulling data for you. It can actually like ask how to do stuff. So how-to types of questions. So I said, how do I modify a rule? And then it goes and searches all the content that's available on about using my Geotab, and it will personalize the answer for you and give you sort of the resources here as well, the sources that it's using. You can even ask it what data you have access to, right? Just be aware that Ace, although has access to a ton of data, there's also data that it doesn't have access to. These are the data sources that it does have access to. It's a lot. Has like trips and GPS logs and all of your zoning and exceptions and driver data, and say like there's a ton of data that it does support, but I'll explain which ones it doesn't in a sec here. I want to be cognizant of time here. So just to show you a couple of other things here, which is pretty cool. Ace understands locations, right? So I asked like last week, what was the % of total mileage that happened in the Kitchener-Waterloo area in this database? about 4% of the total mileage was in this area, right? So it understands locations as well, has an understanding of geospatial information. Before I just wrap up here, just quickly about the what's coming next week. So what's coming next week is really powerful stuff. We're going to be adding the understanding of highways and roadways and intersections and names and all the names that are involved. So for example, I can ask, so this is in our testing environment here. So next week you folks will get this. You don't have this right now. But I asked, like, what was the total mileage that happened on Highway 401 for this vehicle last week? So about 19.2% of the driving happened on Highway 401. Or you can ask, show me all the speeding events that happened on highways, or show me all the speeding events that happened on Highway 401 last week. It's pretty powerful. So it can match all of your data to geospatial information. Pretty powerful stuff. Or you can ask which vehicles are near. This is another Geotab office, right? It gives you that location, gives you a Google Maps link. I put the Google map link in my browser, and as you can see here, it's exactly at that Catalyst 137 location, which is the office here. Just to one final thing, just to wrap up here. Again, make sure that you understand the data that it has access to. Make sure to use the @ functionality, folks. Right, like from here, from the chat box itself, you can write @ and you can search for things. Right, you can search for, I don't know, like I have my vehicle's name is Bluey here, right? So I can type Blue and it will find it. If there's driver names, groups, rules, anything, you can search it from here, and just by typing the first few words, first few letters, you can get that, and you can find them. You can even search for your rules, right? So maybe I have a speeding rule that I need to, so it's called like test speed limit rule. Make sure you include that into your prompt, because if you don't include the exact wording, we won't know, right? If you have 10 different speeding rules, ACE wouldn't know which ones you're referring to. So make sure that you're including that as a part of the @ We do have a confirmation mechanism as well. So if you don't specify it, we will sort of trigger that and ask you for it. So watch out for those as they pop up, and you can click it and select it from the list there. I think we should be good here. Just have in mind the data that the ACE doesn't have access to, like HOS, ELD, DVIR, routing data. We don't have any of those. Any compliance related data. We don't have any of the descriptions, uploaded docs, notes, camera data isn't in there. The data that you've entered manually, it's not in there. Any of your custom reports, although the data is there and you can build it, but ACE doesn't have an understanding of those custom reports. And it can't take action, right? It can't go and do things in my Geotab for you. So just have those in mind. But I think that was pretty much it. I think we can go to questions.
Yeah, thanks for that presentation. It's really cool to see ACE evolving and changing, and you know what, this is really cool, turning into a very cool product. We had a couple questions about, is there an extra cost for this, for ACE?
No, there is no extra cost. This is included in your My Geotab.
And just to confirm, if you're not seeing it in your database, it needs to be turned on. So you need to go into where you turn on beta features, turn this on, and then you'll see that ACE button pop up. But if you're not seeing it right now, it must not be turned on. And Randy was asking, there previously was a limit of 200 questions like per month that you could ask. Is there still a limit, or is there a limit?
That limit has been lifted now.
So it's unlimited?
There's always a limit, but the limit is very high. We have yet to see anyone sort of hit that.
Okay, all right. So no need to worry about the limit then, I guess. All right. And then Thomas was asking, can Geotab review just the database you're on, or can it compare like model and year, DTC codes? Does it have access to things like that?
Good question there. It only has access to the data that you have in your database, or the knowledge base stuff, right? So sometimes the knowledge base could contain some of that information, but it doesn't have access to like a live, like internet search, right? You can't search the web for you on the fly and sort of grab some of that information. So just be aware. So it's either the data or if we route the data to the knowledge agent, depending on what kind of content is available in the knowledge from the knowledge agent, it could be able to answer those, but it doesn't have like a live connection to the web.
Okay, awesome. And maybe a follow-up kind of to that, but is there an integration, like third-party open source between Gemini and Ace, enabling like Gemini to interact with Ace directly? Is there something like that?
Good question. So there's a couple of ways, right? So first of all, Ace does have an API. So whatever you can do within the Ace environment, you can do using the API. So you can pass your prompt, and then you'll get the response there. In order, like, we don't have like a direct integration into it at the moment. Uh, this would probably require something like an MCP, for example. I believe Gemini supports MCP. I'm not 100% sure about that, but there needs to be some protocol to be able to use in order to make that integration happen, right? We are working on an MCP. So for the folks that don't know what MCP is, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. It's just a simple protocol to be able to connect agents with other AI and LLMs. And we are building one as well on our side, and it makes it super, super simple. I think this was one of the videos that was from the recent Connect conference that happened, and when the folks was connecting Claude to Ace and showing all the cool stuff that can happen there. It's very powerful once that happens, but we are working on MCP to enable that kind of connection.
Awesome. I guess we'll look forward to more details. I think Philippe answered some of that in the chat also. If you're interested in more of that, there's something on LinkedIn that he shared a link to that you can go review as well. All right. So some of the data that you're saying that's not available right now in ACE. Pete was asking like HOS, ELD, camera data. Are we, expecting that to be in ACE at some point? And do you maybe have any type of rough timeline, like it's something you're working on now?
Yeah, good question there. So the reason why I want to explain like the reason why some of this data isn't available is that because where ACES like needs to have instantaneous access to all of this data and be able to query large amounts of data, this data is being queried from the Google BigQuery environment within the Google environment. This is within the Geotab environment. And in order to be able to query that data, the data needs to be available within that environment. So we are sort of pulling all of that data in. A lot of the data is in there, some isn't. So that's really our limitation at the moment. In order to be able to have all of that data available, we are continuously adding new data to ACE as the data becomes available. Like start of the year, we didn't have driver data, we didn't have any of like the DTC data in there. Lots of data was missing, but now those are all covered. So I'm hoping that hopefully by early 2026, mid 2026, we'll have one of my KPAs is to make sure that more than 95% of the data is covered. So hopefully we'll get there. Just to be clear about the camera data, if it comes as any of this data, just to be clear, because I've seen some of this, any of this data which is available as an exception. So if it's a rule that it's available as an exception, that's available, right? Just to be clear. But the data sort of on its like raw format isn't there.
Okay, yeah, thanks for all that, that insight there. So thanks for all the questions. We had lots of questions. I'm going to do one last question and then we have to move on to the next section. But do you know if there is like a library of prompts, like good prompts, commonly used prompts, value add prompts that customers can access and like look at for, ideas of ways to prompt ACE?
Yeah, absolutely. So after this, my session is over, and we go to the next one. I'll paste the link in the chat there. So that's a prompt guide there. We do have a bunch of, just so you know, I mean, it's just to get you started, but typically here, either so if you're on this page, you can click on this little tag here, and we have like operations. There's a bunch of questions here that you can pick from. There's sustainability, for example. So we do have a bunch that you can sort of pick from here, or if you're on the main page from these pills that we have below. And you can feel free to like use some of these prompts there to get you started. It doesn't contain everything, but we also do have a prompt guide that will help you out. The best strategy, folks, try it out, right? What's the worst that could happen? It's not going to give you an answer, right? That's the worst, because you're not going to ruin anything. Nothing's going to be going away. There's no way in the world that you can like change anything in your database or, I don't know, like, remove anything or erase anything. Like that's not possible, right? So the worst that would happen is you get a wrong answer, or you don't get any answers at all. So try it out, play around with it. You'll start to get a hang of it. You'll start to get an understanding of how to work with it. There is a learning curve. The learning curve isn't that big. It's just about practicing, really.
Awesome, Shajah. Well, thanks for sharing your insights with us today. All this information will continue to look at how ACE is evolving, and I will see you next time on the road ahead. All right, we'll keep it moving, and we'll invite Jamie on to talk about camera health insights. Hey, Jamie, thanks for being here.
Thanks, Ishi. Great stuff. Definitely excited to see ACE growing as it is, and I definitely echo your guys' thoughts that we would love to get video into it as soon as possible. No pressure, Sajad. So today, hopefully you guys have seen me in the last couple Road Ahead webinars. Today we're going to talk about a new camera health insights report that's going to kind of help you guys maximize the value of maximizing the value of the dash cams that we've previously talked about. This is going to be starting in open beta starting in December 2025, so they will be available to you guys very shortly. As we've discussed the past couple months, the need and adoption of dash cams for telematics and for your guys' fleets and operations is becoming increasing more so. It's becoming critical. It is the number one driving factor of our industry, telematics. It's becoming so fast that, it's not even becoming, a need. It is becoming kind of just table stakes and something that is recommended for all fleets. As you guys know, growing really fast, not as fast as things like insurance costs and distracted driving, which these tools kind of help you solve. And then definitely do want to call out, the wide range of marketplace cameras that we do offer. There's lots of different use cases for these AI dash cams. Some do, a small limited set of capabilities. And then, the other high end will give you that full AI video coaching capability, maybe even including, 360 visibility with aux cams. So if you're not familiar with our wide offering of marketplace cameras, please do check it out. And then so that I get my paycheck tomorrow, I do have to, of course, call out our GoFocus Geotab family of AI dash cams. Hopefully you guys know about our original GoFocus, but also our new GoFocus Plus. So just a quick shout out to those. And then, just a recap, really, you guys know these issues that you guys face on a day-to-day basis more than I do in terms of, those distractions, the near collisions that are happening, the rising costs associated to safety and downtime. Something that we haven't shared in the past that we will continue to share is kind of the results or the benefit or the ROI that you can get out of these dash cams. And down below, you can see that, in our early pilots with our new GoFocus Plus cameras, we are seeing a large reduction of tailgating events, phone usage, and just general overall distractions. So more ROI stats coming. And then to kind of the topic at hand. So this new report kind of helps you maximize getting that ROI, making sure that your cameras are healthy and that they're working properly so that you can get the insights that you guys are looking for them. So like it said, it's kind of a quick report to kind of give you those insights, the key benefits. It's going to give you a proactive monitoring, give you improved reliability in terms of knowing what's going on in your fleet and your cameras, and then the actionable insights. A few things to call out. This does include marketplace cameras as well as our Geotab branded GoFocus cameras. This is a little different, and we'll get into it here on the next slide. We previously gave you a status of your camera, and that's more about connectivity. This is really giving you a health status of are you getting all the video that you're supposed to and things like that. Like I mentioned, previously on the assets page where you'll find this new information on the camera tab, we used to kind of tell you about the connectivity of your camera, whether it's online, standby, offline, being onboarded during installation. This new feature, again, and we'll get into the kind of the specifics, but this is more about the health of your camera. Is it pointing in the right direction? Has a driver put a lens cap on it? Those type of things. In addition to, does it have power and all those, typical standard things that you need to know. How does it work? Really, it kind of measures three key metrics. It does an uptime analysis. It looks for camera fault codes that is coming off the camera. It also looks at your Go device if that's how you have your camera installed. And then also video retrieval success. That's kind of that last one. So again, both do you have power? Are the cables right? Is it configured or calibrated correctly? And also, is it sending the video for the events that it's supposed to? And then here, I do want to caution you guys when this report does launch, do not freak out if you see that 50% of your cameras are unhealthy. We'll kind of get into the reasons or the different categories of unhealthy, but we have seen in early beta testing that some customers are finding that a lot of their cameras are not being used or are unhealthy and not giving the full value that they could be. And there's many reasons for that. As the shows on the diagram over the right-hand side, there are some fault points depending on what camera you are using in terms of, hey, maybe it was easily dislodged, maybe it wasn't installed correctly at the time of installation. Maybe a driver put his shirt over the lens because he didn't want you guys seeing what he was doing. I have heard that sometimes does happen. So just do note, and we're going to get into the kind of categorizes here, but there's a good chance that you will see that a lot of your cameras aren't giving you the value or the insights that it could be. So here's kind of those four categories of health. First and foremost, healthy, and I kind of like to use those smiley faces on the right-hand side. If you guys have been to the doctor lately, they use these. So healthy, hey, you're great to go, good to go, feeling great. Unstable, maybe you have a sore throat, maybe you have a little cough. The camera is working correctly. It's providing most of the video, but maybe it's something that you need to look into. When you start to get into the unhealthy part, hey, that sore throat is turning into a cough. Maybe you're getting grumbly belly. Hey, there's something seriously wrong with your camera. You're not getting, the video that you're supposed to. And then not working at all, clearly, hey, your grumbly belly has turned into full out flu and you are just not working. And that's, the ones that you really need to tackle. So I do want to make sure that you guys do understand. You probably, when you turn on this report, are going to see various levels of cameras being unhealthy, but do know, kind of look into it. We do provide the tooltip. So in the UI, when you actually see that this camera is unhealthy, it does allow you to kind of click through and get additional information. So when it says, unhealthy, it will say maybe it's a power cord, maybe there's a lens cap on it. It will give you kind of those details for those ones that you want to drill down and figure out what is actually going on with that unhealthy camera. So again, hopefully this is pretty self-explanatory, a great thing that will help you guys just proactively manage your fleet of cameras to make sure you're getting the most value out of them. With that, I'll see if there's any questions.
All right, Jamie, thanks for demoing that to us. I mean, it's definitely critical. If you got cameras, you want to make sure they're working. Don't want them to be sitting idle. So we did have a couple questions. Main question is, when will we be able to see this report in my Geotab? When is this coming?
So it will be open. It will be available to everyone via open beta. So similar to Ace, you will have to turn on the beta toggle, but that will start to roll out in December. Depending on databases, it might be, mid-December before you see it on yours, but it will be starting to roll out early December, and everyone should expect to have it by Christmas the latest.
Awesome. All right, so right around the corner. Now, somebody was asking if there can be any alerts tied to these, like text alerts or email alerts based on having an unhealthy, not working camera.
Great question. So today there will be a emailable report that can be done, but future state as we move towards Connect, as we move away from open beta into full general availability, we will actually be launching version 2 enhanced, and that will be one of the capabilities, more alerts, more ability to kind of customize what kind of alerts you get depending on, the health of your camera. So stay tuned for that, but early on you will be able to get an emailed report from it.
Awesome. Awesome. And I know you mentioned that this report being available with other cameras. So is this going to be available for like Surfsight and Roscoe cameras? Are there limits to which cameras will come up under this?
So it will be available for all marketplace cameras. I will caution that, depending on what signals are coming from what camera, there will be different levels of insights. But yes, we are offering, this will be available for all of our marketplace cameras. It just depends on what kind of codes and what they're sending that's included for each.
Awesome. All right. And just kind of a piggyback on the coming alerts. This is going to be separate from like exception events. Like there won't be a way to like create a rule in rules for like a camera being unhealthy or not working.
That would be actually more towards version 2. So we do want you guys testing it out. If there's feedback that that's something that you guys need and that would help, definitely relay that. But that is kind of on the roadmap, and we're just kind of working towards that. So again, the more feedback we hear of like, oh my God, that would be bees knees, we'll get it done. So keep us posted.
Great. Well, hey, keep giving us your feedback, everyone. All right. I'll do a couple more and then we will move on. But somebody's asking if there is any way for this to like become part of, or is this going to become part of the Watchdog report, or is this just going to be completely separate from the Watchdog report?
Yeah, today it's going to be separate, but anything's possible. I would equate it. It's kind of your watchdog report for your cameras. So I will definitely relay that up to the powers and bees and see what we can do.
Awesome. All right. Well, I appreciate all of the questions. We will answer the rest of the questions that we didn't get time to later in the community. And thanks for your time, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Yep. See you guys soon.
All right. Let's welcome Valeria on for our last section, the Marketplace Partner Launch Lineup. And there are a couple polls if you want to answer those polls. Right now, there's some polls. Some of you have answered them, but feel free to answer those. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. My name is Valeria, and I'm very excited to guide you through, I would say, a truly remarkable year we had for Geotab Marketplace. Hopefully, Geotab Marketplace is an ecosystem of third-party software and hardware solutions. You can expand the capabilities of your telematics system, and you can tailor your fleet management experience to your needs. Through Marketplace, you can customize your telematics experience. You can enhance safety, efficiency, compliance. You can integrate best-in-class solutions for cameras, asset trackers, fuel management, maintenance, EV monitoring, and more. I'm hoping that Marketplace help you make smarter, data-driven decisions across every aspect of fleet management. As I said, this year has been a landmark year for Marketplace Order Now. In 2025 alone, we already launched 100 new Order Now solutions. And we are not even slowing down. We are going to deliver even more by the end of the year. Order Now is a program that lets fleets purchase hardware and software solutions directly through Marketplace. Is centralized ordering, billing, and support, so customers can browse Marketplace products and add them to a cart or just install directly into their database. Today, we will be covering all the products that launched this year and mentioned before. First, let's do a quick poll. Tell us what pain points you face in your everyday operations. First question. Which challenge is the greatest drain on your operational budget and efficiency? Fuel. Examples, fuel theft, fraud, uncontrolled spend, and manual data entry. Second, maintenance and lifespan, like unplanned breakdowns, surprise cost, and short lifespans. Looks like this one is causing a lot of issues in your life. Safety and risk, like false claims, risky driving, and collision response. Wow, maintenance and lifespan. 53.1% if you think this is the greatest drain on your operational budget. Let's get to the second question. Is there a second poll coming up? Here it is. Where is your fleet's greatest vulnerability or exposure to risk? Compliance or paperwork, like defects, audit issues, delayed repairs, and excessive manual paperwork. Second answer, driver behavior and retention, like distracted driving, poor coaching, and difficulty keeping drivers engaged. Wow, almost 66% at some point. And asset and vehicle security, vehicle theft, lost asset, and unexplained damage incidents. Thank you for your responses, guys. And let's get to poll number 3. Let's give it a second or two. Here it is. Which category represents the largest opportunity for immediate improvement in your fleet? Maximizing uptime, reducing breakdowns, improving fault, prioritization, and optimizing part replacement, around 15%. Better data and visibility, real-time communication, asset lifecycle tracking, and actionable insights. Almost 40%, and 45% is addressing the human element, improving safety culture, reducing risk driving, and boosting driver retention. I would like for you to keep an eye out throughout the presentation for the solutions that will solve the pain points you just indicated your interest in. Thank you. And let's start with one of the areas creating the biggest impact for our customers today, video telematics. Our camera ecosystem is designed to tackle the toughest challenges you face, like false claims, nuclear verdicts, risky driver behavior, slow incident response, vehicle theft, unexplained damage, and the ongoing rise in insurance premiums. And this year, we have significantly expanded our offerings with the new solutions. FleetCam joined the marketplace with a powerful standalone camera that does not need the Go device. And FleetCam solution supports up to 8 cameras per vehicle for the whole true 360-degree coverage. Lytx expanded their portfolio with the next generation AI 14 camera, as well as the new auxiliary camera, building on years of innovation following the AI 12. Zergo strengthened their lineup with enhanced front, rear, and side camera options, as well as 7-inch in-cab monitor. And VisionTrack. VisionTrack introduced an AI-powered dual-facing dashcam built for rugged environments, including construction fleets that need durable, rubberized equipment. I believe those solutions, these partners, are helping us deliver safe, smart, and more transparent fleet ecosystem. Now, let's move into another essential category for our customers, which is asset and trailer tracking. This year's launches directly addressed some of the persistent operational challenges our customers face, like lost access, stolen asset recovery, right sizing and making sure the right number of assets are in circulation, end-to-end lifestyle visibility, proactive asset maintenance. And to tackle those challenges, we expanded our ecosystem with several powerful partners and solutions. Digital Matter joined the marketplace with their long-life asset trackers, the Remora, Yabi, and Oyster, all of them designed to provide years of reliable performance. Link Labs introduced a lineup of trackers tailored for small and movable assets to ensure that even smallest pieces of equipment don't go missing. For organizations looking for low maintenance solutions, Orbcomm brings solar powered tracking devices to Geotab Marketplace. And Philips Connect also expanded their offering with additional battery powered and solar powered asset tracking solutions. Next, I want to highlight the incredible progress we've made in the area of safety and risk management. And based on the polls, those solutions should be of interest to you. This category sits in the heart of fleet performance, driver well-being, and organizational resilience. To create safer journeys, more engaged drivers, we expanded the marketplace Order Now ecosystem with those software solutions, and they are designed to improve behavior, reduce risk, and empower drivers with tools they need to stay safe. Several of these solutions use gamification to motivate and engage drivers. BrightMile and D2Go, they leverage gamified scoring that helps drivers improve their performance in real time. The solutions support you or fleets in building a culture where safety is not just understood, but it's actually rewarded. Predictive Coach eliminates bias from drivers' feedback. They deliver automated, impartial coaching directly to drivers' inbox. Lifesaver adds another layer of protection by preventing two of the biggest contributors to collision: phone distraction and speeding. It's a mobile-based platform. It helps drivers stay focused on the road. And to protect remote and isolated workers, OK Alone delivers the solution with real-time visibility for both drivers and vehicles in one single view. And rounding out the category, Extract. Extract revolutionizes the way fleets respond to and manage incidents. It has real-time collision reporting, automated accident reconstruction, and you can share reports with insurers and third parties. Finally, we get to the maintenance category. In 2025, we also expanded our maintenance ecosystem with solutions that are designed to improve visibility, streamline repairs, and keep fleets running at their best. This year, we welcome two powerful solutions from Noregon. First, Fault Enrichment. It provides detailed, easy to understand, full descriptions, so you can quickly identify issues and boost vehicle uptime. And building on that foundation, Trip Vision, also by Noregon, takes fault visibility to the next level. It's an upgrade to Fault Enrichment. Trip Vision would deliver real-time insights into the health of every vehicle and major component. We also launched Uptake Essentials. That's a powerful solution that brings predictive maintenance to life using data from your existing Geotab device. It transforms that data into actionable insights and will help you and shop managers schedule repairs proactively, reduce risk, and improve overall vehicle performance. Next, let's look at the advancement we've made in the fleet management category. This year, we launched several tools. We welcomed Bosch RideCare, solution that uses intelligent sensor box to detect smoking inside vehicles. We also introduced Crew Chief. It's a mobile solution built for field services and fleet operation. It connects drivers and managers in real time. And to help fleets navigate environmental hazards more effectively, we added Critical Weather. That's a solution that integrates real-time weather conditions with Geotab location data. E-Squared joined the marketplace with their managed tablet solutions. So fleets can actually focus on running their operations instead of troubleshooting the hardware. And Go Analytics is another solution that delivers a unified platform that combines telematics, video, engine data into one single, easy-to-navigate interface. You would be able to quickly identify your safest drivers, pinpoint high-risk behavior, and take targeted action to reduce incidents and improve overall fleet health. Now let's talk about the area that also continues to be one of the biggest operational costs for fleets, fuel management. The solutions we launched directly address the most common fuel-related challenges our customers face. Uncontrolled spend, fuel theft and fraud, fuel policy compliance, lack of visibility, and time-consuming, error-prone manual data entry. And we introduced two powerful tools. First, BlueArrow Fuel, which helps fleet managers correct gas station locations and approve transactions. And BlueArrow Fuel saves managers countless hours of manual review and work. And next, we have Fleet Hoster Fuel BI, which is a robust analytics solution designed to detect and prevent suspicious activities. I believe it has over 50 types of alerts and more than 14 matching partners to verify fuel card usage against vehicle activity. This solution helps fleets quickly spot anomalies and prevent fraud. Additionally, this year we launched the routing solution by NSIM, which is built specifically for public works departments. It helps them plan, execute, and monitor their day-to-day operations. Next, let's look at compliance, which is a critical area for fleets that want to operate safely, efficiently, and of course within regulatory requirements. Highpoint GPS introduced their GeoDocs solution, which is a which is a document management add-in for my Geotab and Geotab Drive. Administrators can upload and version documents in my Geotab and assign them to group or vehicle or driver or role. Meanwhile, we've got Noregon, who offers a tool which ensures vehicles are thoroughly inspected and compliant before they begin their journey. Noregon helps fleets maintain regulatory compliance and avoid costly penalties. In the connected sensors category, we introduced DITCOM sensors, which is a Bluetooth-based solution designed to strengthen cold chain visibility and improve efficiency of temperature-sensitive logistics. Revo also launched two powerful tools this year. Revo Lite, which is an AI-driven platform that provides real-time tire insight, as well as alerts, actionable recommendations. It's supposed to help fleets reduce unexpected downtime, as well as lower maintenance costs. Meanwhile, Revo API would deliver these insights directly into your fleet systems, enabling seamless integration. Last, but certainly not least, let's highlight some exciting advancement in our EV and sustainability category. As fleets continue to electrify and focus on reducing their environmental impact, we've welcomed several partners who are helping make this transition smoother, safer, and more efficient. Bosch introduced EV Battery Insights, which uses algorithms to identify stress factors like battery degrading driving or charging behaviors. And this solution predicts future battery condition. It detects potential issues early, and it also empowers fleet operators to maximize the lifespan and efficiency of their EV assets. Greener brings a cloud-based emissions reporting and analytics platform. It automates how fleets measure, manage, and communicate transportation-related emissions. and MoveAV launch Reimburse AV, which is their software solution which streamlines reimbursing employees for the actual electricity costs of charging their EVs at their own home. Well, in summary, as you hopefully noticed, 2025 has been a year of remarkable expansion. Marketplace Order Now continues to deliver tools to protect assets, enhance safety, streamline your operations, as well as support cleaner and more efficient future. With 100 new solutions launched just this year and many more in development, we are going to build, and we already built, a marketplace that can address almost every challenge you have. And that's it for me, and I'm ready for the questions.
Awesome. Thank you for that presentation. A lot of great work being done by Geotab all over the place this year. We are about at time now. There weren't many questions. Brad did answer some questions in the chat here. If you have any questions after thinking about this a little bit, feel free to come to our community, ask questions in there. We will pull in any of our experts to answer those questions. And thank you for your time today, Valeria. And everybody on the call, thanks for staying this whole time. Appreciate your time. Thanks for always coming to the Road Ahead. We will have more Road Ahead webinars. Keep a lookout for those emails for our new exciting changes to My Geotab, Geotab Drive, and all of our products. Have a great day and have a great holiday season, everyone.